afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, a master propaganda hero strike defender of the fatherland, off here to an exciting one versus one on Arnhem Checkpoint, here with the December balance preview match again, or preview there, 1.1. Versus in the side we got here Findeed, fighting for the fatherland of Germany. Deutschland taking on the road here of the 8th SS Cavalry Division of Florian Geyer. With Lightning War, Osttruppen, and Mechanized Assault Infantry, or actually no infantry, we got Panzergrey, Machine Gun, Mortar, and versus North we got Frost fighting for the Soviet Union. The 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps with Counterattack, Guard Motan, Armoured Assault with Molotov, Anti-Tank Grenade, and Pack Bulletins there. Anti-Tank Gun Bulletins, we got double comp start there for Frost. Grenadier MD42 start there for Findeed, the more conservative stuff there. Frost obviously going for the more conservative, the conscript builds there if you have to go for it. Setting out there for the motherland, and of course to keep in mind the grenade package now is just basically both Molotovs and anti-tank grenades sort of packed into one, so your bases sort of get for like more or less half the cost, both things there. Pioneers bring up towards the centre of this, so Findeed's going to focus on that one. He's not going to need to go for the fuel, so Findeed might be setting up here for Stalingrad if he's not careful. 3rd conscript there for Frost. Sandbags going down there. Rapidly is going to make it harder there for Findeed to push forwards and counterattack into the north there. MD4 sitting around the fountain. More wire going up here from Findeed, and there you go, conscript here suppressed by the MD42, taking 1200 rounds per minute, and Petrov dies first. Rest of the unit pinned down to the ground like insects as they're forced to run away like the Soviet dogs they are. Wiring off here, I think, to try and make it hard here to push around. Interesting move there by Findeed. Interesting move. With more grenadiers on the way there for Findeed. The 8th SS Cavalry Division was, well, a cavalry division. In fact, the German army had about 4 SS cavalry divisions. And the fun fact about a German cavalry division, it was actually basically a Panzergrey division, but they were on horses instead of trucks. That was sort of the big division. There was not like, Russian or Soviet cavalry division, which sort of, fighting from the horsebacks and all that. For the Germans, they used the horses as transport to get here and there, and then it sort of dismount and then fight as, truck-borne Panzer Grenadiers. I think they're also some of the few units that actually get access to headsers in the SS, if I'm actually not mistaken. It's a little fun fact there. Got Engineers versus Pioneers. See, in these we've got Conscripts there versus Grenadiers. MD4 sitting up in an aggressive posture there. More Conscripts coming in there from Frost, who's already researched his grenade package there. Opening up for more firepower there. Pioneers need to retreat Schnell here in the face of the Frontovics from Frost. Grenadiers are fighting against the Conscript in the east. MD4 to the planning covering fire there. More Grenadiers around for Findeed. He's spreading out rather aggressively. He's apparently hoping that Frost doesn't bother in the centre, which is certainly a bit of a gambit. But looks like he's going to consider pull more resources into the east, though it does leave now this area exposed. In theory, allowing Frost to push from here into there, but he's not paying attention there. He's trying to occupy here. So the centre is so far safe for Findeed. He's sticking in around the victory point, though he's yet to borrow a secure fuel point. So again, we're sort of seeing some slight unfortunate bits there for Findeed. He's trying to move into disrupt here. The conscripts prevent them from setting up the sandbags. MD4 up the conscripts, they're suppressing a squad. Other squad, they're falling into heavy cover. They just managed to finish it. He's going to need more infantry to push out. And conscripts, they're being oh no, he's going to push into close range of them. That's going to be really bad. They have more to actually force them into this. So nice move, I suppose, by Frost. And there you go, Findeed's Grenadiers ultimately forced away. Grenadiers in the centre there, occupying here. And in the west, we've got Grenadiers versus Engineers pushing up there. So Findeed's forces are very thinly spread across the map there, which is definitely not where the Wehrmacht excels. So this could easily go wrong any moment here for Findeed versus Frost, who's up to 4 conscript squads, backed up here of course by the grenade package, increasing their abilities quite significantly here versus the German army. MD4 setting up, they got the conscript pushing ahead here. Flam there for punishment support, but already there outmaneuvered. There you go, heavy cover. The Pioneers should have a chance to that close with their flamming efforts. Though they're quickly getting focused down here, but Frost, there we go, Molotov as well. MD4 starting to set up here in the cafe. Continue fighting around the centre here, and he's actually should be able to push towards the fuel point there, but he's going to lose the eastern fuel point here to Frost. And the 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps, there we go, conscious press here, but MD4 taking losses as they quickly pile up, and they're pushing up through the centre. Findeed here, taking up now, moving on for light vehicles, while the Grenadiers make a successful push for the western fuel. So certainly some aggressive fighting here between Findeed and Frost. Frost going here for the support company, might be going for some mortars or maxims, maybe in a field gun to prepare for light vehicles from Findeed, who has also been building up a bunker, though he does lack the vital munitions to upgrade it to the medic bunker. Infantry here, Grenadiers pushing up against the conscript, they're getting in within their closer ranges. They're going to be a dangerous move as the conscripts, and there go Molotov as well. and even just threatening to throw it forces Findeed to move out his grenadiers, which means the conscript gets several free shots from the grenadiers. And there you go, Molotov went off. He needs to retreat the grenadiers before they get wiped here. Oh dear, Findeed, Scheiße, and a wipe there on Findeed's grenadiers. Big loss here in the early game. And Findeed does realise that. Did not work out too well there. Rushing up here. Like to make a nice company. It's going to need a light vehicle, I think, to push back against Frost here. Panther grenadiers would certainly also help him out a lot, though, in the longer run. Need to retreat the grenadiers here before they get wiped out, but they can't score engineers. He can't afford another wipe. But he's finally got a fuel point here versus Frost. MD42 finding on his own. Catching them on the retreat path. Chance of wipe, they're minimal, sadly. For Findeed, of course, great for Frost, who's now pushing in towards the centre there. Like to make a nice company up, but he lacks the manpower and the fuel to do anything for it. In fact, he's going for a replacement grenadier squad first. Hitting the CoH point. Here's the conscripts push for his western fuel. Interesting sort of set there across the map. And he's getting the MD42 up in a good position. Oh no, it's going to be too late there, I think. Also not going to be able to cover the cut-off point to take it. Topsy healing enforcing. Replacement grenadiers out there for Findeed. Grabbing the point here. And up here, healing reinforcement going for Frost as well, yet to further take up. Also, yet to go anything from the support from company, so he might just be using it as a springboard towards the next tier and just keep it in reserve in case he gets surprised by Findeed. And we got a doctrine from Frost. It is counter-attack tactics. Opening up for shock troopers, but of course also K1 tanks and the B4 howitzer. This could be quite the headache there for Findeed and the German army. Because they're taking mad losses from the MD42 there. Pouring through the windows, flammable pioneers move trucks trying to hit there, but not pouring. In this case, they're flanking the engineers there by the centre. And there you go, Frost forced out. Some nice maneuvering there by Findeed. He can now actually get something from the like to make a nice company. Looks like he's aiming for the Panzer grenadiers, or he's going to be going for 2-2, so even a half track right now versus Frost. Looks like he's just forgotten. He goes for lightning war. That opens up for the G for the future return, help his grenadiers versus some of Frost's troops there. Oh, he's going for the MD42, which by the way has got a new icon here in the December balance preview. It was also there by the way in the fall balance preview, but you know, no one really paid attention to that then. Still nothing from the like to make a nice company. Looks like he's just too preoccupied with the front line, which means he's not going to be able to push out anything as fast as possible versus Frost, you know, to hit back. Particularly with the shock troops out, I think a 2-2 is going to be one of his better options. And go light machine gun up there. Comes thinking about him, forcing up there. It's going to pretty close there. There we go, pinned down before they could throw the Molotov. Damn close there for Findeed. Damn close. There you go, Flamme Pioneers moving in there. It's going to scorch them horribly. Petrov lights up. And Yuri and Sergei join in as well. Shock's moving in, they need to get the unit back. Finally got some punch grenadiers on the way. They really should consider here light vehicles up counter the shock troops. There you go, grenade off against MD42 just as they enter. Force them out. They dodge the grenade there, barely. Shift about. He needs to retreat though. The shock troop is going to catch them. Retreat, Findeed. Rückzug. Scheiße, they're after us. The submachine guns. And the grenadiers are just not quite getting anywhere. They need to retreat as well before the shock troops cut off the retreat path and wipe the unit. But we got Panzer Grenadier out here, half track. Probably a 2-2 with the dirty choice here versus all these shock tubes and the likes. So far, no sign. That might be, of course, with all the conscript with anti-tank wells about that. He's perhaps not quite too keen on it. But there you go, almost about to get one of Frost's conscript squads here. He's not paying attention, and he gets the wipe. A small victory there for Findeed and the 8th SS. Flammenwerfer Pioneers versus the Engineers. They need to retreat. They're too low on health, and I would say too precious to be wasted there on just doing that. Findeed continues to flood a bit of resources. He's probably trying to get acquainted with some of the new ideas and trying to sort of figure out what Frost is up to. That's a potential idea there, but still I'm a bit worried there's so much flooding about the resource and these critical moments we really need to push back against Frost. And there you go, grenade against the Panzer Grenadiers. Dodge it nicely and pop back in. Almost got a second conscript squad there, but the Panzers need to retreat soon, and he's still flooding resources there. Scheiße, there we go, 2-2 on the way. Panzer Grenadiers need to Rückzug, schnell. MD42 setting up. They're so low on health. Indeed. Scheiße. Holy moly, he did it. He held off the shock troopers. That was bloody close there. Damn close. There's lost his CoH one again. Mines being laid down there by Frost very rapidly. Good work here. Grenadiers continue to fight with the conscripts. And we got some Grenadiers moving up the west side with G for the Fleets on the way. Pioneers almost good to go. 2 good to go. He could consider another one. They might, of course, also want to prepare for armour, though Frost is yet to go for anything at all, which might indicate he's planning just pushing hard for the KV-1 tanks, which would certainly put some serious pressure there for Indeed. Grabbing the western fuel. Grenadiers then need to retreat. Schnell. And got the 2-2 rolling out there. Pioneers advancing as well. Veteran C2. Could move with the MD-42 up in the church here. Maybe switch over to the west. Oh, right next to the mine. He's going to hit it. He's going to have to retreat the Grenadiers there. Well, at least he's got the Pioneers nearby to repair it. And his Panther's good to go. He's going for a mortar here. An interesting decision considering Frost's sort of more aggressive posture so far. Or perhaps suggest more another MD-42 if he wants to really fight it, or just, more light vehicles to drive around circles around all the conscripts and shock troopers. That feels a bit of an interesting decision there by Findeed. Conscripts are suppressed by the MD-42, field gun on the way there. Definitely feels like Frost is just stalling here for KV-1 tanks, which could certainly give Findeed more time to stabilise and bring something up. Though of course he's going to need Pack 40 soon. Big push here. Catching the shocks with their mortar fire raining down on the house with the conscripts. They're being suppressed as well. There we go, pinned down. Needs to get the 2-2 in there. Instead, the 2-2's over here for the engineers. Needs to get the 2-2 in here to try and stall the shock troopers. Instead, the RP's rounds would actually not be a half-back choice here, as all these troops could do extra damage. There we go, conscript push back. 2-2 not rolling back. Panzer, they're wiping out units on the eastern side. Things are really heating up here. Steed has stabilised. MD-42 falling back. Low on health. Needs to get the mortar out there as well. And needs to get that 2-2 back in there. Telemines down in the eastern flank in case Frost rush out a light vehicle. Very good. And he's trying to avoid the shock troopers here. But of course, keep in mind there's a slight loading time, so you can actually suffer some extra damage as you try to get into the house. So it's a bit more dangerous just to pop into the house if you're sort of being aggressively pursued by angry Russians with really many guns. Guard troopers running in, they're going to try and flank the shock troopers, push them back there for the fatherland. And there you go, striking hard for Deutschland. Yeah, your body armor doesn't protect you against 2cm autocannon shells, does it, you assholes? Pushing up there for the eastern fuel. Panzers there for 10 kills. Back here, healing enforcement going on. 2-2 blasting away at them. And pushing up here, pushing back his field gun. Perhaps this might get Findeed an idea what's going on there from Frost. He is still some time off though from the KV-1. And Findeed is not taking up. Nor he's going for Pack 40. So I hope he's not trying to play for a tiger straight away himself. That feels like a bit of a ill-advised decision there by Findeed, if that is truly, or even Findeed, what he's playing at. Still, he's got sort of good map control here versus Frost. Frost's basic lack of taking up to bring up anything else, and again stalling for the K1s is allowing Findeed to push harder against Frost, bring up infantry and vehicles, sort of push back there against Frost, who's not really got any sort of doctrinal support for them. He's going for a mortar of his own, and Findeed there goes going to take. He's going to have to rush out a Stuke to have a chance. So he might still benefit a ton from a Pack 40. So he's got both fuel points now, pushing back the engineers there. Shock troopers heading for the fuel. Engineers there, repulsed. Fences crushed, and field gun discovered. And then outmaneuvered. Nice work. He's actually going to try and move into Findeed's or Frost base to destroy it. No, instead he takes an escape route here through a very rarely used route here up north in the northern vineyards. Actually, a very nice move there by Findeed. Also very unexpected. You generally don't see people use that path at all, but Findeed went there. Perhaps remembering his grandfather's times in Bordeaux, where they would beat up the poor people with sticks. Anyways, when he was a child, of course. Tunisia versus conscript up close. Not the best move there by Findeed, so they're going to get cut down by the conscript up close there a bit too much. So Paul McCoop, he's still giving me some time off from the Stuke, but not too much actually. Not too much. He's turning up with that second fuel point, so he's going to have a Stuke ready to counter any KV-1s, though he might still want to bring up something extra before you know that. Maybe another Panzergrey escort here as all these conscripts would be pretty efficient for Findeed. or something else. But he's not going for the Stug. Perhaps he's not anticipating the KV-1 there. Perhaps he's just unsure what Frost is doing. Perhaps he's just not thinking about it at all. Hard to say here, but he's got no anti-tank and he's not going for the Stug, so I'm a bit unclear as to what Findeed's plan is. He's actually trying to play straight for a Panzer IV. I mean, if he's anticipating the K1, the Panzer IV is not going to be an amazing choice versus them. The Stug is a lot better versus the K1 since it has the better penetration rate of fire versus the Panzer IV K1, so the fact that the K1 actually has the advantage to an extent. So it feels a bit weird if that's what Findeed is playing at. Willingly though, I mean, again, it might be he's just not anticipating for whatever reason. Again, he's just trying to survive and push ahead and sort of establish some kind of dominance. He's got his own plan there. And there's a shock troopers there pushing ahead. Need to treat the gunners before they get annihilated here by the. There we go. K1 out here. Clement Voroshelov tank, named after the Soviet Commissar of Armaments. Before he was replaced by Joseph Stalin, leading into the Joseph Stalin or IS series of tanks. The KB tank, there was an expensive to produce tank, hard to produce tank, and also I believe hard to maintain tank, which was one of the reasons Urkel was at some point discontinued, though they basically had a sort of interim version between the KB series and the IS series with the KB-85. But Urkel was basically agreed upon to just stop producing as many as them possible because, again, they just weren't worth the resources in the situation. Either way, though, Frost K1 then moving ahead, going for the Panzer IV there. So again, without any other anti-tank to support it while the K1 has a field in theory to work with it, I mean, Findeed's there not necessarily making the most optimal choice. I mean, he could pull it off, and obviously versus the infantry, the Panzer IV is a lot more amazing, but he could easily just get more Panzer gunners to work with his Stug. That's a counterpart. And there you go, full Mother Russia as well here, destroying Findeed's flanks there, annihilating him, forcing him into full retreat here, stealing the M42 as well. A big loss for Findeed and the SS Cavalry Division Florian Geyer, apparently a Frankish nobleman who fought for the Germans or something like that during the 30 Years' War. Panzer IV, the pursuing K1. No, by the way, between a K1 and a late war Panzer IV, the Panzer IV actually had more armour. I believe the K1 actually had about 60mm armour, whereas the late war Panzer IV had 80mm. That's a little fun note there. Penetrating hit though, Panzer IV bounces off the K1's armour. Another shot fired there, another penetrating hit in the KB1, taking it down to less than half health. In the east there, contributing a victory point there. Findeed actually has the lead over Frost there in terms of victory points. It really does look good for Stug after this. More pioneers though, not a bad idea either to speed up repairs. Will Frost be taking up now? He's just going to keep relying on the K1 tanks here. Grenadiers, Panzers, they're attacking. G4 the Fleet and Sturmgeist, they're catching the counter out in the open to lay down sandbags, causing heavy casualties. Pushkin and Dmitri stumble over dead. Well, except for Pushkin, he's kinda slightly alive. Help! Please! Don't brutally interrogate me! Thankfully, though, for him, Findeed doesn't use the ability. Most people don't. It's actually pretty handy at times, though. 2-2 back in action. Panzer IV being fixed up there. And assaulting the country as much firepower as possible. Willingly drawing an anti-tank grenade, though that seems a bit reckless. But there he goes, using to block the retreat path. He's actually going to try and aim for a wipe here on the conscripts. And can he pull it off? He actually pulled it off. I'm not entirely sure if this is intentional. They basically messed with their pathing, so they basically just kept having to. He blocked the route, so they had to take another one. But then once it opened up, the other path became the optimal one, and so they go back to that one. I mean, that was intentional by Findeed. That was really damn clever. That was really damn clever. Grenadiers need to retreat. They are being taken to task there by the Russian army. Frost, they can soon call in another KB1. Findeed really should go for Stug to support his Panzer IV. He'd call out a Pack 40, though. I think the Stug would be the better choice, in particular on a map as large as this one, for example. The Stug's going to do him a lot more good. And there you go. Findeed is going for the Stug 3G, the Sturmgeschütz. There you go. Frost can go for a second K1 here. Also, a big thank by the way to N just N, for pledging on Patreon and supporting the Propagandacast. Most appreciated, N. You are what allows me to keep doing this day after day, and so thank you for supporting the war effort. Okay, one up in the Pioneers forcing the way. Oh, cancelled. Pack 40 instead. Interesting. Don't know say what I recommend, but we'll see where this goes. We'll see where this goes. Could be he's going to aim for another Panzer 4. Could be he's going to try and set up for the Tiger, in which case he'd really benefit from a fuel cache. They have been made slightly more expensive now, which obviously is more meant for team games, but at the same time makes them less practical in 1 versus 1s as well. Which is a bit of an issue with all of these, change the mix to the 2 versus 2 for the sake of team games. They're sort of, great, but they're just not providing alternatives. So in many cases, the running unit's not very good in 1 versus 1. So some things like the caches then not very viable, which is definitely something they need to be careful with. And this again, also I then recommend if they absolutely insist on nerfing stuff like the Panther, providing ability or something else to make up so they can still feel elite. He needs to get the Panther part then, by the way. He's got the Pack 40 ready here though. And whoa, he's going for tier 4. I was all calling air support against Frost's armour. Need to pull back that Panther part before it gets blown to bit. There you go, actually got knocked out by his own aircraft, I think. I got the K1 there. But that didn't quite work out there as intended for Findeed. K1 there might just escape. Nope. Oh no. 2-2 rolling about here behind. Still no additional K1s there for Frost, so they could go for them. Oh, got the K1, suppressed a lot of nearby troops as well. So he's planning for tier 4. I mean, obviously it's been made so now you can actually go for tier 4 if you've gone for tier 3 and you're not going to get say punished as much for it. It's not going to be quite as expensive now to aim for tier 4 as an extension of your tier 3. But at the same time, it doesn't in any way incentivize, say, further researching it. But I mean, I suppose in that sense, it's still slightly cheaper, but you can't rush for it any better. But there you go, 7k watt here to replace the ones lost there for the Russian army. I mean, in this case, indeed, this has got the heavy Panzer core Schnell, which again is going to be a bit cheaper, and then you can get out of the Panther, which would certainly punish Ruston from just not taking up and going for K1s, because the Panther's going to be a much more solid choice against the K1 here. So there you go. He's going to. I mean, if he can sort of maintain the fuel contact he's got there, the fuel points, he can get out of Panther in roughly. Well, he can begin building one in about 2 minutes, give or take. So this should be interesting. We'll have to see if this actually has any merit whatsoever, and how then the new Wehrmacht Panther performs with its slightly improved rate of fire. But again, apparently someone's been looking into the files, and apparently it only works at veteran tier 3 or something, which then, I don't know. I haven't checked out the details myself on that one specifically in the game files. But anyways, 2 minutes ago now to begin building a Panther. Certainly been an interesting fight so far though. What with the conscripts here, a lot of other things going on. Got the K1 they're rolling down. Also, fun fact, the K1 series had an issue with the turret, or at least the K1 and the KB2 did. Like, if the tank got hit on the turret, there's a high likelihood of the turret just jamming, and the Russians, or the Germans, were reasonably quick to figure out that one. So whenever they began encountering them, they just began firing on the turret to just cause it to jam. So a little fun fact there. Oh! Direct hit there. Oh! Yeah, my kidney! Oh, they got mine too! These hats! And unfortunately firing from the lower floor there, moving up the eastern side here. Nope, but there's some slight change to unit animation, so how they're sort of standing about there. So that's, I suppose, a nice little added detail there. Findeed is getting closer to the Panther, the Panzergrey 5. Second K2 the river for Frost, or is he going to just dither about until the Panther hits and then go like, oh, Bliat. Findeed is seconds away there from the Panther, the Panzergrey 5. Going to the G43s and let's see if they're opening up there. Interesting, he hasn't gone for a replacement before to at any point, but there you go, you can call in the Panther now. And there you go, calling it in for the fatherland. Indeed, boldly going where no one has gone before. In this, so far anyways. Pioneer's been transferred with the Pack 40 here. Up north, point's been secured. Frost still just sticking to 1K1 tank though. Perhaps he just doesn't want to manage more. He refuses to take out. I'm not entirely sure why he's doing that though. Might be for purposes of testing, I don't know, but certainly seems to me a bit strange. I'll wait Panther halfway down there for Findeed. K1 rolling about. Looking for fresh fascists to blow up. Going for the B4 howitzer. Interesting choice there. I'll also explain why I was saving up resources. He wanted to go for that really big howitzer, and that's certainly going to put some pressure on Findeed. There we go. Panther out here for Findeed. Panzer. Kampfwagen 5. We shall see how this performs now. Pack 40 jumps up there, penetrates the frontal armour of the KB1. Panther sitting out there. Fun fact, a Panzergrey Panther might actually have been a bit anachronistic, since by that time they're supposed to have, paint them dark yellow as the base paint. Constantly moving about here on the eastern side. Panther moving in, going to try and pursue the K1. They still need to be careful about anti-tank weapons and the likes, and mines. Didn't like machine gun added. Shot fired. Killed a machine gunner, but didn't actually hit the K1 there. Falling back with the Panther a bit here. Constantly moving up on the other side. Panther going to be arriving to support as well. There you go. Constantly push back. Panther going to be advancing here in support with the Panther. Will Frost now react here to the K1? Panther with another K1. Will he try and take up? What will Frost do? This B4 so far is not shooting at all. Bit of harassment up on the western side here. Bart Wire going down to night cover there to Frost's troops. Good work. House collapsed. Looks like he lost a unit inside there. The Pioneers, I think, bit the dust. He was obviously not happy about that. But there you go. Panther going after the K1. Shoots, misses. There we go. Pension hit there on the KB1. Field gun moving up and shoots again. Another pension hit there against the KB1 tank. Pensioning it though from the field gun. K1 bounces against the Panther. Another pension hit. It does feel like the Panther shoots a bit faster though. I mean, again, half a second I suppose can still make a bit of a difference at times. And there you go. KB1 goes up in flames. Panther needs to fall back here. Pretty schnell. And get seriously repaired. MD4 tries to replace the one lost here for Findeed. Smoking up the Pioneers there, forcing them out. Findeed's taking no chances. And the B4 trying to take out the Panther based on its last position. Bit risky then for Findeed to repair so close. And of course he now knows there's a B4 out, so he'll probably be a bit more careful about where he decides to repair his Panther. Otherwise that could have been a Panther down. In that case, Findeed would have been a pretty sticky situation. Apparently he's gone for a fresh Grenadier squad at some point. Probably should have gone for Panzer Grenadier. You could even consider using relief infantry to soak up some of those losses and just begin flying the field with cheap infantry versus Frost and the second guards mechanized corps. North here, Panzer versus Country Squad, Geballte Ladnung, which was a World War I tactic, by the way, initially used as an anti-tank weapon, I believe. It was also in the early stage of World War II used as an anti-tank weapon. And there you go, veteran to 3 Panzer Grenadier. That's going to be quite a challenge there for Frost to constantly deal with. That's pretty good there. Panther still awaiting a few repairs. Is he setting up for another one maybe? He could also go for a target and supplement. And there you go, Frost going for another KV-1 tank. At this point, Frost is perhaps wishing he'd actually checked up instead of just relying on a single K1 then trying to fob it off here with a B4 afterwards. Mortar back and forth here. Of course, Findeed has to be a bit more careful about that. He sort of stands around for a long period of time because there's the B4. Woo. He got lucky there though. Pack 40 here though, seeing the infantry in the centre. Frost has been a bit incautious with the infantry then. Oh wait, Panther almost good to go there for Findeed and the 8th SS. Pioneers being at the west side, going to hit the fuel point there in the east point, and they're being secured as well. There we go. Panther good to go once more for Germany. Deutschland. Frost though needs to bring up another field gun or something else, because the single field gun in the KV-1 versus the Panther is a bit tricky. I mean, this is sort of engagement where the Panther really excels just one-on-one, in particular with tanks, which are, you know, from before the war began. Yeah, Otto, this is the finest armour versus the worst armour. Pack for the trigger right there from the B4. Bit more shocking for Findeed. And what happened there? Yeah, he's retreat or something, I guess. K1 charging and going straight for the Pack 40. Panther moving in to flank here. Shoots, misses there, the KV-1. K1 shoots, misses. Takes a hit there from the field gun. Panther gets a good return hit though. Gains mentioned one unit wiped out. That looks like a Grenadier squad bit the dust there. Bit of loss for Findeed. Again, relief infantry or some Panzer Grenadiers would serve him well. But he's got Blitzkrieg on the Panther. Grabbing the northern point as well. Might try and then actually basically go like this, flank about here, and then sort of hit Frost from the rear. In the rear areas, basically going for support weapons like the field, the B4 and the mortar. I mean, a good assault there could actually do the trick. He's going for the Sturmpanzer, which I don't think would quite support it well, but he could still do it. You could also try and set up for a Tiger now. But, I mean, the Sturmpanzer is a bit faster. B4 shoots. No, he's probably gone for G for defeat on his Panzer Grenadiers as well. That's an interesting choice there. They should probably treat them now. We've almost got the Sturmpanzer. I mean, so far though, I mean, we're getting some interesting matches here from the December balance preview, which is pretty good. K1 there being fixed up. Sturmpanzer almost done. Quickly adding the Pinlock machine gun to that one. Termites being laid down here. Yeah, Oregon, I would say sort of just up here and then straight towards there, I think could be sort of a good assault there by Findeed. Go straight for the support weapons, deny Frost access to those. Particularly the B4 can get rid of that. That would certainly hurt Frost. That'd be 600 manpower gone. Machine gun bunker being dug in around to defend the eastern victory points. They're good. Sturmpanzer rolling ahead. That was also introduced in 1943. Ooh, almost got in the knees there with a mortar hit. Panther lands a good hit there as well. Another hit there. This time though actually failed to penetrate. That was a bit impressive. Needs to go after it. So he actually had to take that a bit. They're going for the Infantry 6. Panther keeps blasting away there at the KV-1. Counter rushing straight at the Sturmpanzer. Panther going, oh, explosion in the rear, but doesn't seem to matter. We stayed on here against the Infantry 6. Half 8 of FC2 there for the Panther. But he's actually been using the Panther quite well there, not just blindly charging it in, but making good use of its range and armour to the most effect. Frost in the hand is actually going straight for the Panther in the mountain. That suits the Panther quite well, so he needs to be careful about that. I think he's making an opportunity to counter it and just destroy most of Frost's got there. Pioneers moving up behind, hitting the western victory point. My apologies there, had to sneeze. Pioneers scanning it, got the Panther moving in to support. That's a good hit there. Is it just me? Have they actually lowered the requirements for the Panther as well in terms of veterancy? It just feels like he gains more experience faster. Probably just me. Ooh, mine went off there. Steel Panzer rushing westwards, more telemarks. They've been doing a quite good job there, actually mining up. Frost is going to need more vehicles and armour though. Push back against Findeed. That Panther, in particular, if that Panther is actually 2, a K1 issue 6 is going to find itself having a very hard time. Of course, it doesn't increase the armour anymore, but still, it has a bit more health, though. I don't know. It kind of feels like they should, you know, compensate with something else than perhaps something a bit more offensive for the Panther. I don't know. I still feel like the Panther's a bit more lacking, but I suppose... Yeah, I don't know. Machine gun bunker here, though. Coming up against Eastern Victory Point. Though yes, being rather, I think, helped a lot out, but the fact that, again, Frost just went for single K1 at a time. Didn't take up very fast. I mean, rather creating optimal situation there for the Panther. I mean, the situation isn't any different. I mean, the Panther probably is struggling a lot more, so again, I'm not a huge fan of it. But there you go, finally got the mortar there with the B4. Need to get the Panther up here to support with some infantry before he loses his bunker. If you could actually just rush the B4 now, I think. Frost hasn't actually mined the approaches at all. But there you go, Panther. And gaining Vetty 2 there, shuts him up. Pack 40 gets the finishing kill there. The finishing shot. K1 going after the Sturm Panzer. And the flanking up behind there for the Fatherland. There we go, good hit on the K1 from the Sturm Panzer, I think, though, which is so far 7 kills, actually. There you go, Panther saw cutting its way through their Frost line, going straight there for it. Field gun shoots, misses, almost got the K1 there. Sturm Panzer, oh, hit from the B4, oh, Scheiße! Blitzkrieg! And the K1 gets it. I think he used the direct fire attack, their ability, basically. Ow. That was quite nasty there by Frost. Completely cut off the spearhead of Findeed's armoured spear there. And he's about to lose a Sturmpanzer as well. And he gets abandoned. Ah, Scheiße. But he can always go for another Panther. He could try and go up for a Tiger tank now. He's got a lot of manpower floating. Could consider some caches. They need to be careful with his infantry. I also think he should consider some relief infantry just to help offset some of all these losses he's suffering, to be honest. And he's about to hand Frost a Pack 40 as well. And of course there's the argument he should just gone for a second Panther instead of the KD or the Sturm Panzer. Quick rifle grenade there. Almost got the mortar. We got the shock troopers rolling in. They need to retreat the grenadiers immediately. You still got a victory point leader of Frost, but that's about it there for Findeed at the moment. He's almost got the second Panther ready. But he still needs to somehow put an end to that. B4 shoots, almost wipes the Panther squad. There you go, cruise the Sturm Panzer, but he's got nothing to deal with it. He's almost got the Panther ready though. That B4 is quickly turning to be very, very nasty and a good investment there. Second Panther out there for Findeed. Okay, one there. He needs to be careful about that B4 though. Oh shit! Another case there again. If we lose that Panther, that's going to be really distressing. And it went down. Countered by 90 munitions ability. So that really just sort of placed Findeed in a very bad spot. Now that B4's taken out essentially 2 Panthers. Finally got the Sturmpanzer knocked out. Also, I think. Hang on, cat break. Right here at the end, cat break. And there we go. Then I can actually, Findeed still got most of the map, but he's just been sinking so many resources into the Panther, and again, all that, and then they still get, you know, quickly taken out there, which is not doing Findeed a lot of favours. Well, he would, you know, you help at least part of it by going for Leaf Infantry. Again, it would help, you know, just push with something across the map there, securing territory and denying it to Frost. Need to retreat the MD42 and the Pack 40 as well. Where's the Panzer with the shock troopers? Smoke screen down and falling back from here to an extent. Shock troopers trying to find cover there, but it's not quite enough. So that's 23 Panzergrey, their assault rifle and the Sturmgewehrs. Of course, the body armor is helping notably. Apparently they're still getting the cover bonus, despite the barbed wire, because they should be suppressed now by an MD42 like that, but not quite getting suppressed there, so barbed wire isn't actually working. Interesting, that might be a bug. Because the barbed wire should pretty much prevent them from getting the cover bonus since they can't actually get into the cover, but apparently they did. So what will Findeed go for now? Another K1 out there for Frost. He's definitely not dithering about with that one anymore. Of course, there's still the problem with the B4, which he can't quite get to. He's got Frost down to 89 victory points there. Going for Stug. Panthers pretty much off the table again. It's just too expensive to get them, and again they don't necessarily just help you out that much, in particular not when they just easily counted by B4 or anything like that. So they, at some point, they just become not very practical, and sort of just highlights again that just at some point, you know, it just falls through with the tier 4. That's basically still what they need to do, you know, make it a bit more, you know, worth it. And he's got a Shug on the way there. Calling in air support here. B4 shoots, misses for once. But again, that was indirect fire, not direct fire. Got the K1 there, leaving him with only one. His Vetchi 2 K1 though. That's still a problem there for Findeed to deal with. The Duke they're moving in, Pack 40 as well. Shots bouncing off. Can Findeed still win this somehow, or is going to get crushed here by the sheer weight of Frost and his artillery? With 19 kills. Plus they're pushing back the engineers. If he can, he should probably try and rush it with something, I guess. But OD is going to move through against into line of field gun there. Need to fall back with the Stug there. Panzers also need to consider moving back as well. Shock Troop MD4 to the suppressed pioneers. B4 shoots and almost wipes. They forced to retreat right past the Shock Troop. That's going to be another wipe there. I mean, that B4 is pretty much winning the entire game for Frost. At this rate. Considering it's taking out all of Findeed's vital units. Replacement Panzers there for Findeed. They kind of wish he'd gone for more soon, and also kind of wish he'd used some relief infantry. Or just, you know, Panther's rubbish, then instead of calling still too decent, the argument could also make the Panther's just not very good, still. was just not good enough for, again, a tier 4 unit. I mean, that's all the problem, which I keep, trying to raise. I mean, it's just not that good for a tier 4 tank. And Team Arden better off had just gone for a bunch of Stooks and a Panther 4 instead. A lot more flexible and a lot harder for the B4 to just stop, because, sure, he might take out one, but then he'd be on plenty of other Panther 4s and Stooks to deal with them. Of course, there's also the counter argument made, that Findeed could have used his Panther a bit better. At times it did feel like he was using it a bit passively, could have used it a bit more offensively, aggressively. He'd have tried to flank more, but, Details and perspectives. Shock Pioneers, they're white with the shock troopers. More Panzers here for Findeed. It feels a bit late, he's now finally going for enough of them. B4 wipes out another unit. GG from Findeed. It was pretty close though. Would have benefited a bit more for some relief infantry. Again, I think some more aggressive Panther users, just not going for the Panther, but instead just using the Suprema Corps more with Stooks and Panther 4s. Also a bit more flanks. So there you go. I think an interesting fight. That's certainly highlighting the change here again with the conscript. Certainly more useful now. So, Panther, I'm still not convinced. I still think they need to do something more serious about the heavy Panthers quantity for general Wehrmacht late game. I mean, this was easily just locked down by the B4 howitzer, which really just left Findeed with nothing to do. Again, they like to talk about nerfing stuff that just wipes units in one go, and the B4 still stands. And the demo charge, but not the Stuka bomb drop. Go figure. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.